Welcome to the first episode of Conservation at the Museum. Thank you for joining us. Our piece today is set number 10265, the Lego Ford Mustang, which was once part of the Creator Expert theme. Starting off here, we have our number one tool, vacuuming with a Dyson soft brush head, which is very helpful for getting a majority of the dust off onto our sets. Do a once over of the Mustang here. It's not too difficult because everything is mostly smooth except the engine block, which is not as smooth, so we'll have to come back to this with a power duster, which helps blow any of the dust that's really stuck in the small crevices and areas like that. Luckily, with sets that have a lot of moving parts like the Mustang, not too much dust gets into the inside areas. Trunk, same thing. There's not too much dust that gets in here, but it's nice to do it once over. Inside the cabin, because the windows, it's a little bit more difficult. So we'll open the doors and I'll show you right here. I used to have an air compressor set up in the museum just for this purpose, and it was a little bit excessive. So this is better. I think one thing you might be thinking is I'm just blowing the dust everywhere and it's eventually just going to settle back onto the set, and that's where you are correct. But that's kind of where this vacuum comes right back in. You blow some of the dust out and quickly put the vacuum back in. So as I take the roof off of the Mustang just to get a little bit of a clearer look inside of the cabin, as you can see, we can move the front seats forward and put the duster back in there. Again, I don't go too granularly into this because dust doesn't tend to get in the cabin as easily. And since the museum doesn't have too many visitors apart from myself and the occasional bug that gets into the home, anything like that, it's not too bad. It's not a foolproof process, but it's worked. And I don't have that much dust on my sets because of how I dust them. And what helps is having an air purifier filter. That's also incredibly helpful. And as promised, we need to get the duster into the engine block. For this, there's that raised component in the middle of the hood, or in the middle of the engine, that pops out of the hood, so a little bit more dust can get in here, but not that much of an issue. For our purposes here of just getting most of the dust off the set, it's pretty easy. All right, now we can start to put the Mustang back together, and we'll close everything up, pop the roof back on, or try to pop the roof back on. I'm clumsy at putting things back together, I suppose. Duster helps on the wheels too. Just blow air into the spokes of the wheels. There's definitely kind of a meditative process when it comes to putting, any kind of Lego set back together after you're dusting it, and this set is no exception. Just as a reference, this is how I used to clean all of my sets before I had any other tools to do so. It was a complete and total pain, and I wouldn't recommend it. But now I still use it at the tail end of any of these cleaning sessions just to get any of the last minute dust off. I'll use the Dyson as well. Thank you so much for watching this first video in our Curator at the Museum channel. This series, of course, will be conservation, but will be followed up by exhibits at the museum, as well as stories at the museum. Please consider liking and subscribing if you want to see more, and we'll give her a quick spin and see you next time.